Along with those wings comes the bright, shining light reflecting off of scales.
I'm immediately just I am just creating distance.
When it suddenly turns its mouth downward towards the spider.
18. I got 18 total.
I got 18 as well.
I have 16.
Later, guys. I got a 7.
Yeah, sweet baby Jesus. That's a 24.
Light from its own white scales glisten off of its eyes until the dragon's seemingly stoic face morphs into a fang-bearing grin. What's cracking, everybody, and welcome to Songs from the Abyss, where 5 men climb all over each other to get to 2 other men. I am your Dungeon Master, aka Daddy Mommy, aka Ernell Pearson, alongside my brethren of the court. It is Devin Brevin, the dude.
What's up?
Hey, saw dude, saw dude.
Dude, I got ghosts riding a bicycle. Bicycles on my t-shirt. It's cool. And it's in pink.
We have the ghost with the most. It is our Hellfire and Brimstone, Garrick Bartholomew Eaton.
I'm petting my kitty.
I'm petting my kitty.
It's so fitting, too. It's so fitting for his character.
Yeah, it's busy. He's busy right now.
We have the one who's always petting the kitty. It is DJ Simfix.
What up?
Hey, yo.
Hey, what's poppin', dog?
That was wild.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know. You know, that's all right. Our bestest friend is also here, Pub Master Drax, aka Sam.
I think I'm in the wrong attire today because, we're not committing to this today at all. So,
Hey,
oh, well.
I mean, you know what? That's okay. Like, maybe you still have a choice, dude. You know what I'm saying? That's
I rolled a slap Leon. It's a critical hit. He loses a tooth.
Yeah, can I roll to slap the shit out of Leon?
Yeah, can I roll a slap the fuck out of him?
We also have the man who will be slapping people, honestly. He just be running up on people. And it is Moonwind, aka it's Xander, my little tie peanut.
I do like me that shocking grass, man. Like, I just, a good little,
The way you be cold starting on people with that fucking shocking grass, man, you just be handing that bitch out like PG.
Listen, when you have an ability that requires you to be up close and personal with someone, you gotta take the element of surprise.
Devin, was that a hand up or were you doing dumbbell press? You just...
He's over there just pressing it.
A homie
Roll, dude.
messaged
You gotta
me. They're
stretch.
like, "Hey, are you busy?" And so I did a picture like this, showing that this is what I'm doing right now.
Oh yeah.
He said, "Bitch, yeah, I'm busy."
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
pretty
dude.
much.
Dude, I'm fucking tabletopping with the fucking boys right now. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
Yeah. He'll fully
A
understand
for me.
too. Like he'll fully under it. It was Saba. It was Saba. Sam.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was. He needs to send me his
Yeah.
address so I can send him a bunch of cards.
Yeah,
So.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. I'll remind him.
Dude,
I'm seeing
yeah.
him today.
Okay.
Dudes.
Yeah.
I want to take this opportunity real quick. Those watching right now, those listening, if you want to have some sort of option to experience the tabletop experience as well without the table or the top, check out Thunderfolk because I'm going to be playing that later this evening as well with my family, and it is such a fun time. It's such a fun time. It's very similar to kind of this, but like bringing it into a little bit more of a what's the word? More attainable kind of format. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm gonna be tabletopping all day.
Wait,
today.
you're saying that RPG topped that table?
Yeah,
It tops
actually.
the table, dude.
Yeah.
It did.
It tops
It
the
did.
table, bro.
You saying that Thunderfolked? Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of topping the tables, though, this is Songs from the Abyss, and we are excited to get together today for session 13. A little bit of housekeeping for folks. Please remember, you guys can go over to patreon.com/goodkrakenpods, where you have access to episodes like this one early alongside all of our suite of content content that we do between the video game podcast, Good Kraken's Death Ratio, 20,000 Films Under the Sea. We have all sorts of fun stuff there for you guys, not just D&D content, but you guys do get early access to Songs from the Abyss episodes 2 days early. If you guys are over on our Patreon, and or Patreon subscriber and on our Discord, where we also put up early access for our subscribers over there too. So, you guys can allow us to continue having the lights on and cameras rolling over here and keep the show and content flowing for all of you. And we appreciate all of you in the meantime. Also, Summer Game Fest is now under a month away. We will be doing a live stream up on YouTube. Our live reactions to Summer Game Fest, which we do every single year, along with Game Awards, where we get together and hang out with you guys for like 3 hours in the nicest of nice jackets that we possibly can, to come in here and celebrate video games with all of you and all the cool announcements. So that will be June 6th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. We will be there on youtube.com/goodkrakenpods to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it up, dog. Anyways, boys, who is ready to get some tabletopping done? You know what I'm saying?
Some top?
Topping some tables, dude. I'm looking at top tables today.
Top table?
Fuck.
Gentlemen,
top on the table?
During our last session, the
On the
party
table bottom.
continued their escape from Xander, ending at the Great Bridge of Nemdor. Norbis and Dazlin, desperate to keep the ancient spider from escaping, casted a magical wall at the end of the bridge, forcing you all to have to fight for your lives. You battled fiercely and each chipped away at Xander until the spider repositioned itself to fire a blast of molten green plasma your way. The blast flung all around you.
All over the place.
The blast flung all around you, and you were all able to safely escape it as Xander began to charge yet another shot towards you. The very same white dragon that has been haunting the local area comes crashing down atop the spider's back. The dragon sends a crushing beam of ice energy through Xander's body, destroying the bridge you were all standing upon, and nearly sending you all into the whirlpool below. You're able to grab some sections of the cliff face to save yourselves from the fall, and the dwarves bring their magical wall down to help you and the kids in stow. You're all pulled up and begin dusting yourselves off with a sigh of relief as you then notice that the white dragon with a dead Xander in its claws and wings keeping both afloat in the air had stayed to watch you climb to safety. You all then watch on in both fear and anger as the dragon sort of scoffed at all of you before flying off into the night sky. Fellas, before we kind of get into the nitty gritty here, Cloud, today you have heroic inspiration, my good sir.
He's heroic.
He's
What
heroic.
did
He's
I
heroic.
do to earn said heroic inspiration? If I may ask?
Making some ballsy moves.
Just
in
being
our
a
last
dude
couple
guy.
of sessions, my good sir. Made some ballsy moves, man. You climbing onto the buttocks of Xander definitely was a risky move, my good sir. Risky move.
Need a hero.
Gentlemen, you all take a moment to catch your breath after this sort of heart-pumping encounter you just experienced. Dazlin looks around the woods surrounding you and lets out a large into the air and says, "Right, are we off then?" And Norbis looks towards Moonwind and says, "Look, mate, we apologize for doing what we did. We didn't mean to put you all in that position, but the responsibility of protecting the kingdom of Phandalin has been handed down to us. We must do what we can to fulfill the oaths of our fathers. We sincerely hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive us." And he sort of puts out a hand towards Moonwind, gesturing towards a shake in agreement. He says, if you'll allow us, we can go with you to Umbrage Hill. and make sure that everything is safe.
Yeah, shocking grasp.
How? Just so we're clear, this is immediately after everything happened, like immediately,
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah. We are right coming out of it.
Okay, because I was running the entire time for 2 sessions straight. 2 sessions. I was running my arse off. 2 whole sessions. I didn't have a single moment of talking to anyone else. Okay. I said, toss a child over to me.
Xander, you're literally metagaming right now. You're literally metagaming right now, Xander.
You metagame in character
right now.
Is he breaking the fourth wall? Is he the Deadpool of our party? Is that what's happening?
Just looking dead
Is
at
that
the
what's
camera.
going on?
I'm providing exposition to the listeners. Further exposition. This is for those who have not seen sessions 1 through 12.
Yeah, they're just gonna start right here.
All right, and so we're starting here. I'm just huffing and puffing, and I grab his arm. He's like, "I understand. You did what you had to do, but maybe a little sooner with the assistance would have been nice. Anybody else want to share words with?" Oh, I got that. I have that. You know when you run too much and you breathing too hard, you have that little ouchie, right in your abdomen.
I don't. I've never experienced that in my life.
You don't look.
Can I
you don't look like you run much anyway.
Berry in his mouth?
I'm okay with these folks. They're good people. They're good people. Anyone else want to take over?
Boris, what
I'm
was
gonna
that?
shove a good berry in his mouth and like midway through all this shit. Are you hurt, Xander?
I'm at 14 of 16 hit points.
You get one hit. You get 1 hit point back.
Bet. Okay.
And Norvis sort of
all that matters.
Oh, go ahead, Leon.
All that matters is we're alive, and I need some ale.
And
Or I could go for a pint.
Norvis sort of turns over towards Jackal and says, "Hey, you did a bloody good job over there." And holds his hand out towards Jackal as well.
Jackal's like 1,000 yards staring. He's just fucked, dude. He's like, blinks hard. Oh yeah, right there. Just freaking fucking grabs his hand like that, but it just grips it hard, like right there.
And Dazzlin kind of steps forward towards Leon and pats him on the shoulder really hard. "You did well as well, lad." Looks over at Cloud and meets eyes with Cloud too for a second and sees that Cloud is very disinterested and engaging in this conversation and kind of just turns back towards Leon. "Right, you did well, lad."
Well, we did almost die because you put up a magical barrier, but I hope you have some ale for us.
Yes, we can provide some ale back at Vandalin, but for now we need to get you safely to Umbrage Hill. And he sort of picks up
to teach me how to make that barrier.
Once you become a dwarf, lad, we can do that. And he sort of picks up his hammer and tucks it onto his shoulder and starts marching off forward into the forest. And Norbis sees Cloud sort of walk away to sort of lead the pack, and Norbis sort of quickly trots over towards Cloud and nudges him from the side and says, You don't really look like you belong in this group, huh?"
What's that supposed to mean?
"Well, I mean, it's no slight to you, lad, but, I mean, look at ya, and look at them." And you both sort of like...
Looks fine to me.
Because you have fur.
I'm gonna instantly react. I'm gonna be like, no offense to the rest of the fellas here, but I quite like that one.
Hey, man.
Appearances
Trying
might
to say
be
about
different, but
Bobcat.
I feel like I fitted well enough with this ragtag group of individuals.
And Norris says, "Oh, all right, well then, I guess I won't judge." And he kind of pats you on the back and says, "Right, let's off." And you all sort of start marching off towards into the forest here and begin your trek to Umbrage Hill. Leon, yes.
I'm gonna lean over to Norbis and be like, I heard if you can scratch Cloud in just the right spot, he'll start purring.
I'm gonna turn around and be like, "That's horseshit, and if you touch me, you're going to swallow your teeth."
He's just being rough around the edges. It's okay.
No, I fucking mean it.
I don't know, lad. He looks pretty fucking serious to me.
Are you a dwarf or a coward?
All right, then. And he just kind of turns back and looks forward towards where you guys are marching. And you guys continue on to Umbrage Hill. And on your way, you can see the moonlight frolicking at the top of the trees. And you can hear the high-pitched croaks and chirps of frogs and crickets all around you. And the wind is blowing gently through your hair, carrying a small bit of chilliness along with it. It is nighttime, and the cold breeze of Phandalin air, definitely kind of tucks between your clothes. And the smell of grass and leaves still permeate the air with a calm peacefulness that is becoming slowly more and more unfamiliar to you all as this quest goes on. Sort of like a calm before an impending storm. And Cloud and Norbis are sort of, a few meters ahead of you guys, the rest of the group. And Dazzlin is sort of marching perfectly in between, you guys sitting in the back, walking in the back, and Norbis and Cloud in the front. And Dazzlin is, as he's walking, sort of panning left and right the whole time, looking out for anything that could potentially jump out at you guys. And what you do notice is that Cloud and Norbis are not really speaking. They're just marching, and you all are kind of having this very quiet moment with each other. What do you all do?
Remind me real quick. Norbis is the brother.
Yes, Norbis is the
Okay,
brother.
just wanted to make
Yes.
sure I'm keeping my dwarves straight. Okay, thank you.
I'm just gonna sit there, and I'm gonna look at the ring that my mom gave me. That's around my necklace. I'm just gonna look at it as I walk and ponder it.
I'm gonna ask Pip and Gilly if they happen to know any good knock-knock jokes.
And Pip, kind of holding Boris's, not hand, but like his sleeve of his arm, looks up and says, "Knock-knock joke? Well, no, we thought you would have knock-knock jokes."
Oh, where I come from, there's not many jokes or humor.
And Gilly sort
Where
of...
he grew up, there wasn't many doors.
And Gilly sort of tugs at the back of your robe, and she goes, "Mr. Boris, Mr. Boris," and tugs even harder.
I'll look back and yes.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Robin.
I'll look at Pip and be like, what do I say now?
And Pip just kind of, Robin who?
Robin who?
Oh, well, I forgot. And just kind of lets go of your robe and then continues kind of skipping next to you. And Pip he's walking with your sleeve sort of in his hand, and he's kind of trudging with you. But the kids seem to be sort of like slowly making their way around you in a circle, like they're dancing around you. And they're kind of just singing songs and poking at each other and, dancing, frolicking, enjoying their time, just circling around you, Boris, as they keep tugging at your sleeves and clothes and stuff to catch themselves from falling. Leon.
Can you sing the songs that they're singing for us so we can know the tune?
Yeah, so Gilly's sort of like trotting up and down and saying, "Up, up the Merry Hill, I am standing here," and she keeps skipping up and down while she continues on, and Pip is sort of like filling in some gaps of the song, but then going into his own song, like "Rum rum down the hill, I am not here at all," and they're sort of like continuing to sort of bounce off of each other with their songs and their jokes and their frolicking, and they're having a merry old time, a merry old time. And as they are, Norbis and Cloud, sort of standing at the front of the group, are again still dead quiet. And Norbis looks up at Cloud and says, "I saw your eyes earlier when you were speaking about a Dobra, and I don't know how you knew her, but I'm guessing you were good friends."
We hadn't known each other long, but she treated me mighty finely. Better than most folks, actually. You certainly didn't judge me by the fact that I'm, taller than everybody else.
Look, all right, mate. I wasn't judging you. Come on now. And he sort of like shoves you gently, like to friends, kind of like shoves you off and laughs a little bit into the air and goes.
I want to like shove him back, but maybe like a little harder. Not like to be harmful, but a little harder than I intended.
Can you roll me a strength check, please?
Sure.
Oh, fucking 1.
Damn.
So
Damn.
so Norbis, he shoves you a little bit, and you're both laughing, and he's like, ha, 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 ha. And Cloud, you're like, ha, 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 ha. You shove Norbis with such great force that you don't know how it came from you. You totally misgauged the amount of this, and Norbis just falls like a sack of shit onto his side, dust pluming upward. His lantern goes flopping onto the ground. The fire crashes out. The glass shatters, and he looks up. He's fucking hell. What was that?
I'm gonna look back.
I thought you were sturdier than that.
I'm gonna look back. I'm like, did you just try to pet him like I joked about earlier?
Fucking
I'm just
no.
imagining. I'm just imagining.
I want to just reach a palm out to him and help him up.
Moonwind, what was that?
No, I'm imagining like a la like Avengers 1 where like Thor and Hulk land out and then Hulk just goes boom.
Oh my hell.
Can I cast Mage Hand?
Yeah, you can if you want to. What do you want to do with Mage Hand?
I want to scratch Cloud behind the ear.
I'm just gonna try to ignore him. I feel really bad about fucking
You don't know
accidentally
what's
knocking.
happening. It's invisible.
I can fucking feel
Feel
it.
It's behind his ear.
We also know you cast it too. That's the thing.
So I'm just gonna try to ignore him, and I'm just gonna try to get Norbis up because I didn't mean to push him into the fucking dirt.
Leon, please give me a. Man, what do we do? I would say give me a dexterity check.
13. 12 plus 1.
So yeah, you cast your mage hand, and as you're kind of doing this behind him, you can see the hair behind Cloud's ear sort of lift up a little bit, and you can see Cloud's ear sort of impulsively
Does that twitch thing
twitch,
that cat
just a
ears
little,
do?
the little cat ear twitch, and the twitch in his ear suddenly becomes like a chill jump as Cloud is pulling Norbis up, and Cloud sort of like sees you from the corner of his eye and looks over at you, and
I'm just
Nor-
gonna do this like really fast.
And Norbus gets pulled up and he says, "Fuck, lad, I didn't mean nothing by it when I nudged you, man. What was that about?"
Honest, man, I didn't know that. I have no idea. I wasn't expecting to hit you so hard.
Right, well, all's forgiven, all's forgiven. Come on, we don't want to hold up the group now. And you guys continue.
I want to kind of dust him off.
As you guys are walking, you kind of both are sort of dusting Norbus's gownery off and all the dust from not just the mine, but from falling into the dirt there for a second. And you guys continue to joke on, and he really doesn't take it personally or anything. And your guys' group, and following closely behind, still notice that Dazzlin isn't really saying a whole lot, but you guys continue on. And as you come through the forest and see the opening of the forest open up, and from there you see the open plains and fields of now Umbrage Hill, where the forest trees are now becoming scarce and are replaced with dark emerald greens of blades of grass for what looks like miles in every single direction. And you climb your way up the hill and make way towards the large stones atop the hill near the windmill. And you guys notice that the stone piles that were once there, still as tall as ever. And upon stepping past the first stone pile, the bright, glowing green orbs you're familiar with from your last visit here begin to float from the ground and reach upwards towards the ebony skies overhead. And they glow like fireflies, like spells, like history floating everywhere around all of you. And as the orbs lift up, a slow fog begins to follow closely underneath them, growing out of the grass. And through the fog, the bright glow of teal begins to peek through. And the face of a dwarven man begins to form, and along with him, an army of what seems to be hundreds of other dwarven men, all wearing a variety of scratched armor, tattered clothes, and exposed bones through transparent flesh, all stand before you. And Thrargrs steps forward and says, Did you do it, lads? Did you bring the axe back to its rightful owners?
Well, we grabbed an axe, but you failed to mention the fact of there being any spiders within the mine.
And Thrargras sort of looks back at his men and looks back towards you guys and says, "Oh, I know. I didn't think you all would do it if I told you the complete truth. But you're here. You're safe. I'm glad you are. Thank you, lads. Thank you."
Jackal,
I want to know, how many people have you sent to their deaths before us?
You're the only ones who are brave enough to do it. And he looks towards Jackal, who has the axe on his back. And he holds out his hand and says, "Can I see it?"
Jackal pulls it out. Holds it in his hands like this. Saw a vision. You were there.
What did you see?
You had a run-in with this. Was it blue-eyed? I turn around to the other. He had blue eyes, right? This blue-eyed man, you were dying, and I don't know, man. And then the spider, and it just here, man, take it. Jackal just tosses it over to him.
And
This is going to be the first mention of his vision, right, for us? If
Yeah.
I can recall. I'm going to look over at Jackal. I'm like, did you just say blue eyes?
Yeah, the same guy that we fought. I don't know where the fuck we were,
You
but
saw him again.
yeah,
I'm chewing on a piece of grass, by the way.
Thrargrs. Who is
Yeah.
this blue-eyed man?
Gents, I'll explain everything in just a second. Unfortunately, my ghostly limbs don't allow me to lift me axe the way that I could before. And he sort of looks down at the axe on the ground, at his sort of floating feet before him. He says, if you could, grab this and plant it here. And he sort of points over at this one set of piled stones that are piled much higher than the rest of them are.
I'm going to reach for the.
He says, pick up the ox and plant it there at the rune. And he sort of floats off to the side to allow you.
I'm going to look over at Thrargrs.
It seems a bit
I'm like,
arbitrary, don't you think?
Leon.
do you want this handle in or blade in?
Would Boris know proper dwarven burial technique with a weapon since he knows dwarven?
Give me a history check.
I'm holding it. In my arm
Let's
right
see,
now.
history. I got 14.
14. Okay. So, Boris, you do know a little bit of background on sort of dwarven burial ceremonies and rituals and how sort of the dwarves passing on into the afterlife sort of require some extra steps, mostly in breaking the bondage that they have with not just the mountains and caves that they live in, but just the material plane, generally speaking, in which their runes are sort of the catalyst, the chain that keeps them tethered. You do also remember specifically that those who do have the requirement of breaking the rune do have to do it in both a metaphysical and physical way. In this case, you know that it is going to be blade down, and it does have to be through the center of the rune. However, there's some detail here that you can't quite remember is right regarding the weapon itself.
I would like to ask in dwarven, and I'll look at Dazzlin and Norbis and just be like, in dwarven, just be like, I know it's blade down, but there's something else, correct?
And Dazzlin sort of shakes his head and he puts his hammer down onto the ground and says, Jackal, you lifted the ox. You have to put the ox down.
fuck, man, I gotta
I'm
do
going
everything
to
right.
hand it over to Jackal. Just no questions.
Grabs it. And then
He takes it two-handed, but I'm handing it to him.
yeah,
As this happens, I want to tell Jackal, it's like, this is a ceremony that is done in their honor, and don't forget, it is blade down.
While all of this is going on, Cloud's just gonna break away from the group and go to the small pile of stones I buried Adabra in and just sit next to it.
Moonwind, what are you doing in this moment now?
I'm watching the whole thing unfold as well, though.
I'm Honestly, I'm genuinely just chewing on my blade of grass this entire time, just looking at everyone. I have no. To be completely fair, if we want to just go ahead and remember, I just decided to just
The blade, Jackal, down. It's got to be down, face down. Attaboy.
And Thrargras looks over at Jackal and says, "Will you do me the honors, lad, and strike down my ruin?"
Like this, or you want me to bring it down? Because I've never done this before. Boris, is it blade forward?
And Norbis just starts
blade
to.
Is the blade towards me, or is it?
Norbis just starts to palm face.
It's a dual, like it's a battle axe, right? We're talking like two-hander.
Yeah.
So it has double blade.
Maybe not for Cloud, but yeah, for Jackal for sure.
Like, which one's the front blade and which one's the back blade?
That's irrelevant. They both do the same thing.
Okay. So, but did he want me to? Does he want me to go it down like that? Like those carnival machines. You know what I'm saying? That goes up and hits the bell.
And
If
Dazzlin,
you don't swing that damn axe, I'm going to swing you swinging the axe.
and Dazzlin
I
sort
don't know
of
how that's gonna work logistically, but
Dazzlin sort
It'd
of
take money to
comes
see
up
that.
behind Jackal slowly and comes up stomping and shoves Jackal into the stone. And Jackal, who is trying to catch himself just so happily, strikes the blade into the rune stone at the very front base of the tower. And when he does, the glowing orbs all around you sort of stop moving completely still. And you all can hear the ting of the blade echo outward from where you're standing. And the still non-moving orbs now begin to start spinning around that stone pile. And they begin to spin faster and faster and faster until all of the orbs are sort of becoming this blurred speed of glowing green circling around the axe and the stone pile and where all of you are standing. And suddenly, as they all begin to spin faster, a bright green blast of energy fires in a circle from the axe and the stone pile up towards the sky, towering above all of you. And the wind gusts towards you like a massive poof of air, nearly knocking all of you off of your feet. And Thrargras and his army of dwarven warriors close their eyes, looking upward, and one by one, each of Thrargras' spirits begin to dissipate and turn into more of those glowing orbs as they slowly float upward to join the spinning blast of energy. The glowing beam slowly, over time, begins to dwindle to the small, stick-sized line in front of you, and the winds begin to subside as all of the dwarven spirits slowly fade away, with Thrargras left floating in front of you alone. And as he sort of, with eyes closed, comes down, breathes a ghostly breath of air, he says, "From Varsok to Boldrith, the dwarven kingdom of Phandalin gives you our thanks. To return the favor to you, I think it's about time to explain what's been going on here." And he sort of floats up to the axe and he does this big sort of diminished sigh. And in this moment, you can sort of see this sadness fill up in his facial expression. Hundreds of years ago, there was an ancient tale of a man known as the Starbringer. We thought it only as a child's tale, and that was really until the Starbringer came to the steps of my very throne. The pale blue skin and long stringy hair with robes laid with jewels far more beautiful than any other dwarf could have ever crafted. And the man's name was Ormith. And he told me a story of how he traveled from another world after his people broke out in war and famine and plagues, and that he needed our help. And he didn't explain why, but he asked that we help him build a large construct of using the stones and gems from our kingdom. He offered gold in trade. Endless, beautiful gold. And I saw the opportunity to finally bring my people the lives that we've always deserved, because we suffered in these mountains. We worked hard and we earned what little we had, but we suffered. And I did not want them to suffer any longer. And he sort of looks over at you guys, and you can see the sadness deepen on his face. And you also notice that Dazzlin and Norbis, who were once sort of standing amongst you, are now down on one knee, sort of bowing towards Thrargrs. So,
Should we do the same?
So
I'm looking at them. I'm like, maybe I should do the same thing.
Boris will do it.
So Boris and Moonwind, you both sort of drop down to a knee as well, and Thrargrs puts one hand up towards his chest, and nods towards you two as well. And he says, so we took it. We took the gold. And I sent my men off to work full days, mining and towing and heaving, more than they could have ever imagined. And Ormith locked himself away in my guest room, only coming out quietly to see the progress of our crafted work. The gold was aplenty, but I began to see the way these riches were changing my people. Hunger and grief quickly became gluttony and greed. And I couldn't watch any longer while I watched the dwarven folk murder and loot each other to take from their neighbors what they already had. So, I told Ormith that enough was enough, and although I wished him the best, we couldn't complete his so-called gate. Oh, the way his eyes were glowing with anger. He was so powerful. Somehow, he got to my men, twisting their minds in ways that I just can't explain. And when he says that, Norbis and Dazzlin, you can see them sort of further their bow downward even more towards the ground. And you can almost hear a whimper coming from both of them. And Thrargrs continues. He twisted their minds, and somehow he convinced them to strike down our women and our children. He made our men smile as they slaughtered our loved ones in a matter of seconds. Then I watched in terror as one by one they all turned their blades towards themselves. And then Ormith came for me. I begged, Father, forgive me. I fucking begged. I asked him how his people would feel of him doing this. And before plunging my own axe into me, all he had the gall to say was my people deserved it too. I closed my eyes, I woke up, and I was here. Here, floating in what felt like an eternity. Hundreds of years, lads, hundreds of years I stood here and watched as I watched Ormith transform Phandalin from the great kingdom it once was to this tattered shamble of what it is now. The people deserve better. My people deserve better. But if I can tell you anything, that dragon has something to do with Ormith. And if you all were strong enough to go get me axe and bring it back here and do this kindness to my people, I have faith that you have the strength to stop him as well. Cloud.
Is the axe intact after it struck the rune?
It is buried in the stone.
Okay.
And Thrargras puts his hand up to his chest once more and he says, I don't ask this of you as a favor from me or my people. As you can see, we will be fine now. But for all of the people left here in Phandalin that are suffering and dying and worried for their lives every day, I ask that you watch over them. And I ask that you put a stop to the madness that is in this kingdom of mine, and you make it thrive once more. Find Ormith and strike him down the way he struck me down all those years before.
I'm gonna look at my hand because I have a personal grudge against this thing that I couldn't do anything to, you know? It's gonna glow purple, and I'm just gonna, like, make it go away, and I'm just gonna be like, Ormith, is there anything else we need to know about this stargazer?
And Thrargras looks over towards you, and he can sort of see this anger across your faces as he sort of explained this, and he says, you saw him too.
I did. We battled him in some unexplainable space. It was like we were between time and space, but not physically there. But it's like our minds were collectively there.
Moonwind, I saw you wanting to chime in. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Carry on.
And Thrargras looks over at Boris, and in Dwarven, he says, he almost got you too. And he sees Boris
What was that?
sort of nod him on. And Thrargras can look back towards Cloud and Jackal and Moonwind, and you can feel this peak, not just into your eyes, but deeper than the eyes, deeper than what lies behind your eyes. You can see him feeling what you felt as you all sort of look back towards him, and he says, well, I'm sorry, it sounds like you're already tucked into the fold yourselves. I wish you the best. And although I can't do much more than what we've done here, and much more than information to you, I can say he's still around. He's still a problem. And if you find the heart to do it, bury that blade deep into his belly. I bid you farewell, my friends.
Real quick. Who's the dwarven god? Do they have a god? Is it Moradin?
Well, I mean, there's a few different gods for dwarven gods.
What do they use in this one?
Um,
I know of Moradin. I know of Moradin is like the base, like D&D god.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I would say you can roll me a history check.
It's a 15.
Okay. I mean, it's safe to assume that Moradin is the sort of general dwarven god, and these guys could potentially be serving him as well. There's obviously, other different potential deities that they could be involved with, but you do also notice too that they very rarely has Thrargrs mentioned anything about deities or gods, and really it sort of sounds like they've separated themselves from their wish for the deities, but Moradin would maybe be a safe bet for you, Boris.
I mean, I'll ask him in Dwarvish. I'll just be like, I'll word it though, so it's like he's going into the afterlife. So just like, are you going to walk down the marble halls to visit Moradin now?
And he looks towards you and he sort of smiles his ghostly smile. And he says, I appreciate you, brother. Dumathoin. Actually, Dumathoin. And he sort of starts to begin to fade into
Okay.
the green
Interject.
dust.
I want to interject just in this particular moment because I knew he was going to be fading now. While he is doing his farewells, I would like to unbury the axe from the stone, if I may.
Okay, let's come to that in just a second. Moonwind, your hand was up.
No, if he's fading away already, it's already too late.
He's not gone yet.
It just feels weird now at this point. I'll just play it out then. Excuse me, sir, Mr. Lord Thrargrs, sir. Before you leave, is there anything that you can tell us that might give us an advantage against this Oromith?
And as Cloud sort of comes up to the axe and Thrargras looks over towards Moonwind, he goes, "There's one thing. Just remember." And Cloud pulls the axe out of the rune, and Thrargras dusts away before finishing that sentence.
For fuck's sake.
And you all stand here at Umbrage Hill, seeing the green glows all around you dissipate and disappear and fade away in front of you. And Norbis and Daslin are still standing with you. And you can see them sort of wiping away tears from their eyes and dusting themselves off a little bit, getting themselves brushed up and whatnot. And Daslin looks over towards Jackal and he says, "Sorry to do that to you, lad. You're taking too much time." And he sort of nudges over to Jackal and says, "I know it's a lot of responsibility, but you lifted the ox, you put the ox down." And he looks over at Boris and kind of has a little bit of a grin and looks back at Jackal and says, "Are you okay?"
Look, it's just a lot to take in. I got swallowed by a spider. Anybody see that? You guys saw that, right? I got swallowed by a freaking spider.
We all saw it. It was hilarious.
I'm peeing
I was
by
almost
a tree.
eaten. This blue egg guy, blue man group. He's not even blue man group. It's blue eye man. Oromith. You said his name's Oromith. Man, this Oracle guy. I don't know, man. I just there's a lot of responsibility.
As he's saying that, I'm peeing by a tree because I was like, for fuck's sake, and I'll go over to pee by a tree, and as he's saying that, like, yeah, I saw it. You were swallowed almost whole by a giant spider. It was fucking weird.
You just pissed yourself. It's on your leg now. Good job.
Oh, son of a.
And Norbis kind of walks up towards Cloud and he says, well, there's the story, man. I don't really know what else to say, explain, but thank you for your help. And, you know, we wish you guys the best too. We can't really go with you to do anything, but we can at least go with you back to Phandalin. We have no business back at the mine. Where are you guys going?
I would like to. How do I phrase?
Man, when's the last time we got some sleep? Anybody remember the last time we slept?
I want to kind of like gesture to the axe.
Sorry, Cloud, continue.
I want to kind of gesture to the axe in my hand and to Norbis and say, I know this was an artifact of your king, but if I might, I think I have a much better place for it to rest more permanently in the future.
And he looks at Cloud, looks down at the axe, and as he looks back up towards Cloud, he smiles very deviously and says, I think there's a better place for that blade as well, lad.
I'm just going to throw that bitch on my back. And kind of not, I gave the bow I would have given to the king to Norbis, just kind of it's ceremonially recognizing the respect that they've that you know I forced their king to pass on when I removed it from the stone.
And then Norbis says, "Hi, but before you go, before you take it," he looks towards Jackal and he says, "You do us a kindness and give him permission to take the axe if you don't want it, lad."
I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't. This isn't my style, you know. But yeah. Bobcat can handle that. Yeah.
And he looks back towards Cloud and pats him on the shoulder and says, "You bury that blade good, lad." And he looks...
And I'll just give Jackal and Norbis both the nod.
The nod.
And he looks over towards Leon and he says, "Aye, Leon, Fred, you've got a personal vendetta here, huh?"
You could say that.
And Dazzlin comes over to Leon and says, "Take a word from advice from us. Don't let it take over you."
I'll try. There's already something that's taken over me.
And Norbis looks at you and sort of a confused look and says, "Aye, onward. Back to town then." And Norbis and Dazzlin start sort of picking up, the hammers, their lantern, their stuff, and Moonwind, yes.
Hey, do you mind taking these kids over to the Stonehill Inn while you're at it?
And Pip and Gilly, sort of standing next to Boris still, are like both holding his robes in their hands and latching onto him like a couple of spider monkeys, And
they refrain from using spider for like 6 weeks. That'd be great. I was under the impression we were all going back to Phandalin, by the way. I thought that's what we were doing.
Pip and Gilly look up at Boris and Pip says, "Mr. Boris, are you not coming with us?" And Gilly looks up at you two, and she looks up at the rest of you guys, and she says, "Yeah, you're supposed to come with us too."
Yeah, that's Yeah, that's. I'm just saying this like out of character. I thought that's what we were doing. We were all making pit stop here, then going there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was just like, yes, that's. Yeah, it's time. It's time for bed.
Is
I need ale.
Moonwind still taking a piss?
I'm done. I finished. I finished after Boris pointed out that it got a little on my leg after I was chiming in.
Oh, fair enough.
Nerd.
And Norbus and Dazzlin sort of turn towards Moonwind, and Norbus says, "Well, I mean, you're welcome to come with us if you like. Surely you guys could use some food, some rest, a pint maybe."
Yeah.
I need it.
I'm
Precisely 3 pints, please.
Moonwind.
honestly, after everything that we've been through, I am going to split off and go my own way.
And
Where the fuck are you
Dazzlin,
going?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at you very confused.
This is all
Dazzlin.
too much for me.
Hey man, you died twice. We're almost dead.
Exactly. So I'm removing myself from the equation.
So you could die earlier. That's what you're saying.
I've about had it with all this hubbub and all. I only followed along because you guys seemed interesting enough, and quite honestly, this is way over my head.
Mr. Moon, Wind, if you would. I think you and I should share some points together. And then we could discuss this. Because where else are you going to go besides going to the town of Phandalin? You could be wandering in the darkness by yourself. And who knows? There could be more spiders out there.
I've done that for the last 20 years. How do you think
But
I
why
ended
not
up in
do it?
Phandalin in the first place?
But why not do it with
I've
friends?
been on my
I am
own
going
this
to walk
entire
up
time.
behind Moonwind and place both of my hands extra firmly on his shoulder and say,
And I'm gonna
"No,
immediately-
you're in this now. You
I'm
don't
gonna-
leave until it's done."
I'm going to point
You
at him.
jumped in, Blue Man. You're in the gang now, motherfucker. Let's go.
I'm going to point at him and I'll be like, so, Mr. Moon, are you Little Spoon or Big Spoon?
Yeah, Sir Wind of the Moon. You're with us now for the long run. I mean, I'm here. You know, I almost died too. You know, we have that in common. You know what I'm saying?
I'll point at Jack. I'm like, he was ready to quit.
Yeah, I thought, you know, I still haven't been paid, Boris. I'm gonna let you know right now. Where's my gold?
Where's the money, Lebowski?
I start looking at them like straight up, like I'm the centerpiece of the Brady Bunch opener. I'm just like, fine.
Hey,
Oh, don't look so-
let's
Don't
go.
look so down in the dirt.
Yeah.
The only way
think
that we're
about
going to be
it.
down in the dirt is after all the ale we drink tonight.
And
Yeah,
think
drinks
about
are
it
on
this way.
Leon anyways.
You need to put this
No,
into a
that's
different
on those
perspective.
dwarves over there. They're the ones that almost got
I
us
should-
killed.
Fair.
Before we walk off, I just want to say, and just last, like under my breath, I should never have quit that street drumming gig I had in Baldur's Gate.
Ooh, did I hear him? Did I
don't
hear him with
remember
my
any of
cat
the
ears?
good sweet
Did I hear
drummers.
him with my cat ears?
roll me a perception check.
Do I hear him with my elf ears?
Do I hear him with my elf ears?
Like, man, I'm just
Hey,
I'm
all
just
of you
human
on these
with
joint ears.
human with good ass perception, bro.
Perception.
Here,
15.
here, I'll roll.
No, you're not rolling unless I tell you to goddamn roll. Okay.
It's okay because I got a 22.
Did a 100 hit?
The only reason really that I had Cloud do it is because his passive perception was different than your guys's. So, yeah, Cloud, you could hear him sort of under his breath. It wasn't perfectly clear, but you heard Street Gig and Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, you should have quit shit if the all you had was what you showed in the courtyard the other day.
I'll tell Moonwind as well. Just be like, well, if you were to leave, you're only following us because you're bored, and now it's been entertaining the whole time. So maybe you just continue onward, and then you have a story that you're included in. That is
think about
going
the crowd you get.
songs. Think
Yeah,
of
think about
your
the-
name
yeah.
being sung in places like Stonehill Inn, or maybe back
imagine
Baldur's
a
Gate,
bard singing
or
tales
maybe
of your
in
master.
Neverwinter.
Me and Boris get at the same time. So just think about it, man. Like look at the optics.
Fuck up. Shut
The
the-
optics. So
I'm gonna throw a good berry
Is there an
at his
option?
face.
Hold on. Is there an option to roll for an anxiety attack?
I feel like that'd be a wisdom saving throw. I think that falls under wisdom saving throw. Does that sound about right?
Like you guys,
Daddy, mommy, can you confirm? Can you confirm, Daddy, mommy?
I'm just sitting here, just like, okay, girl, this is
all the gold, man. All the gold. You know, you be drowning in it. Think about it. Like
I feel like
imagine.
Jackal is
I'm gonna-
just
I'm
all
gonna
like,
chime
"Oh,
in
you
and be
got
like,
two
did someone
gods.
say
You
gold?"
do this. You do this story. You got two gods in your life. It's money and it's women. Okay, that's all you need, bro.
Yeah.
You had me as
Imagine
women.
the nights of debauchery you could have once you get loaded off of this script. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Say
could
that.
be a
I'm gonna put my
legend.
arm
You could be a
around
legend.
Moonwind, and I'm just be like, debauchery, women, gold, ale.
Yeah, imagine, man. You'd be like a
I'll
celebrity.
draw the
and
line
plus,
as women
you're
and
already
ale.
blue.
But,
Is that a bad thing or a good thing?
but
Are you
his
for it
hand-
or against
so-
it?
See, his hand is glowing because he's
course.
pointing an Eldritch Blast to your face. So if you don't go, you're fucked.
It's just like one
you
out of
know,
my
like-
finger. It's just like one little. No kidding. I'm not doing that.
Passive threat.
No, he does that. He does that, and I start spurring on my shocking grasp in my left hand, and I look at him, and I was like, "On second thought, I'll take you up on that ale."
And then I'm gonna look at him. I'm like, hey, you want to see a magic trick?
I'm gonna go and
don't
high
start
five
with me.
Jackal. I'll be like, we did it. We got him.
Yeah.
We got him,
Hell
boys.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Could each of you roll me a perception check, please?
Oh shite!
He said, "Oh shite."
Natural 20.
I got a 16. 16.
16,
You
now
said
20.
perception?
Perception, yes.
I got an 18 total.
Boris,
I also got an 18 total.
Moonwind.
19 total.
So as you all are sort of circled around Moonwind and nudging each other and grabbing him and talking over each other and having this sort of storm
All the
conversation, you guys can hear and feel and see Norbus and Dazzlin look towards each other. And Dazzlin says, "Can't believe our fucking people are relying on these chodes."
Did you say Dwarven?
I'm gonna look over at him. I'll just be like, I'm not gonna forget you put up that magic wall of it earlier.
And Norbus starts laughing really loud and he goes, "You weren't supposed to forget it, lad." And he picks up his lantern and starts marching.
I'm just gonna
on.
look at him. I'll be like, just remember, it's because of us that you were able to get out of the mine. We were the ones that fought off that giant spider. You guys ran.
And Dazzlin sort of picks up his hammer and he says, yeah, pissing contest, and just keeps walking on.
Let's see who can break streams.
Hold on, that actually pissed me off. That
I
actually, hold on.
assume we're all
What?
ready for sleep.
I'm gonna lean over at Cloud. I'm like,
Drink.
do you think you can push him a little harder?
I nearly killed him the last time.
Moonwind.
No, I'm absolutely just shocked that they. What?
I'm just gonna nudge it, Moonwind. Dwarven humor, lad. Let's just go.
And you all march onwards back towards Fandlin, and here at the town you can still sort of feel this heavy weight of what had happened after the attack here, but it's much more lively than it was when you guys left just a couple days ago. And people are kind of starting to come out. It's nighttime. You're seeing more people out at night than there definitely were the night that you guys were getting ready to leave. And the market's back up in the town square. There are people sort of standing outside of buildings, talking. There's lights on. There's homes that are well lit now. It's not quite the same bustling energy that you guys had seen before the attack, when you guys first arrived, but it's much better. And it feels a little bit more like a town of people rather than a town of corpses. Moonwind,
What time is it?
It's night. It's probably dead midnight.
Okay,
At this
yeah,
point.
it's
But there's still activity, like nightlife happening.
Yeah, there's still some nightlife. Moonwind, your hand was up.
Are we approaching the Stonehill Inn at this point?
You guys can be. You guys are now currently in front of the Fandland Miners Exchange, which is at the very south exit of the town. And the Stonehill Inn is just past the town square.
I would like to take Pip and Gilly with me to try and bring them back to the Stonehill Inn. That's my main goal. My main objective is to bring the kids back to the inn.
Leon, yes.
Is the sign still destroyed at the miners?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
You just come
I'm
back
gonna
in,
walk
you're
up-
like,
Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna put my arm around Jackal and be like, let's just keep walking. This is something we can deal with later.
Oh shit, man.
And as you guys sort of walk past the Fandland Miners Exchange and make your way towards the town square, you can see the market still lively, still bustling, all the same people of the market that were there before the night before the attack. And you all sort of stand in the center and feel the energy of all this and see that, maybe this is getting a little bit better. And now you all are tired, restless, and very much ready to wind down. You're in Fandolin, and I ask, what do you all do?
Stonehill Inn, baby.
Yeah, I'd say Stonehill.
Yeah,
Inn.
I'm making my way straight to
It's
the inn.
midnight. Yeah, it's midnight. We're gonna continue on to the inn. I'm gonna say I need food, I need ale, and I need a hot bath.
Yes, Moonwind.
I'm going to kick open the doors of the Stonehill Inn. What in the hells is Toblin?
And as you do, the door kicks open and Jackal's right behind you as you sort of bust in, and Jackal's stepping in with you, and Toblin comes peeking out from behind the counter. He goes, fucking hell, what was that, lads?
I thought you promised me. You looked me dead in the eyes, and you promised me you would keep an eye on these children.
What do you mean keep an eye? They're upstairs. What are you talking about, lad?
They're right here. And I start pointing over at Boris with the kids surrounding him. There's whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and Jackal and Moonwind kind of split open, and Pip and Gilly are dancing around Boris still. And
Yeah.
Toblin,
Also, I want to add when I had kicked the door open, the door of this tavern, by the way, is like those old timey saloon doors, by the way. So I kicked it, and as I'm
And it
yelling,
went
it's
back-
just
back?
still swinging back and forth. So Toblin really only got like half of what I said, and all he heard at the end was Toblin, and he's like, "What?"
and he can see the kids dancing around Boris, and he sort of puts up both hands on his head and goes, fucking what? And he comes out from behind
that
the
one's
counter
good.
and comes up to
That one's
Jackal,
good.
and he says, fucking what? How'd they do that, lad?
Why are you asking me, man? That we found them towards the freaking mines, man. That shit.
The mine?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
We fought a giant spider too.
Yeah, that too. I got eaten by a spider. I'll tell you that tomorrow morning. That was.
He's
The entire
here.
time, I'm just Will Smith memeing
I just
it.
want to
Uh,
shout over the top of
We saw
everybody.
a dragon.
Hot food! Cold drink! Now!
Don't listen to him. Listen to me real quick. Hey,
Actually, do listen to
and,
him.
and listen to him. Listen to all of us.
Okay, Ryan, right, stop, lads. Fucking hell, you're gonna give me a headache. And he just looks over at Pip and Gilly. He says, kids, fucking get in here. Come on now.
Can I have a hot bath?
Boris, yes.
As this is happening, I'm pulling out my chef's hat.
Yeah.
It's fucking go time.
Pulls out this large
Yeah,
ladle.
and at that moment, that's the only time I actually calm down. Like I physically,
Food.
And as you pull out your chef's hat and Toblin kind of walks up back behind the counter, the kids are skippity dippity running over to Toblin as if nothing happened. And he grabs them
kids.
both by their hands, and you guys can see him kneel down. He looks at Pip and Gilly and he says, don't you fucking do that again. Now, guys, we have to keep you safe around here. There's no one here to watch you anymore. I'm pretty much the one left with the responsibility of making sure you're still breathing. You can't do things like that. And Pip and
I'm
Gilly
gonna lean over to them with my hands in my pocket, and I'm just like, please listen to the man. I would be absolutely devastated if you followed us again and something happened.
And they both sort of like looking between Toblin and between Leon and back to Toblin. Boris, as you're sort of walking past the counter to go towards the kitchen, you can see both Pip and Gilly looking at Toblin and then suddenly looking back towards Boris with big, pearly, sad eyes. You can see them both look at you agape and saying, Mr. Boris, we're sorry. And they both start like kind of crying a little bit under their breath. And Toblin and Leon both sort of look over at Boris with just like this gesture in front of them.
What the
Like,
hell?
I want to
don't-
shove my face
I
in
just-
between like the children and Leon and Toblin and just whisper, hot food, cold drink, now.
You know, okay, two things here. Children, you need to stay here. What we just experienced and dealt with, please don't. Just please. Safety is paramount. 2, if you're so fucking hungry, get in there and wash your hands and you're gonna help.
But he's gonna get hair in the food.
I
That's
cook better
his-
than all
that's
of you
his
except for
food.
Boris. And I'm moving straight into the kitchen.
Moonwind.
I'm gonna look. I just.
But I'll come back
so-
to you, Leon. Moonwind, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Well, no, Boris kind of took over what I was going to poke at, but now that I realize that Cloud is going to help with the cooking and stuff like that, I want to like see if there's some way I can manifest like an all body hairnet. Like just like if there's like somehow like maybe Toblin in the past has had like a tabaxi helper in the kitchen, he has like a leftover like all body hairnet for him.
Maybe he has like gloves or something. Like I don't know. That's a good
think,
one.
I think
Brush the cat
Toblin,
before he handles the food.
I think he has a fish net in the back. I think that'll work.
Hey, there you go.
And Toblin
It's like,
sort of,
I'm just reminded of like going to like Publix or something like that, and the guys that are sporting like the full beard that are back at the deli, they have to wear a hairnet over their beard.
Dude, just use a mage hand and start picking the hairs out. You know, like no one's gonna know.
There you go.
No one's gonna know.
Same, but different.
Toblin sort of picks up the kids, sort of like under their butts, lifts them up, one arm in each. One kid in each arm, I mean.
The lift.
He just, the parent lift, right? And he just picks them up. He goes, I'll be back down to help. Ale is in the back. You guys do the food. I'm going upstairs to tuck the kids away. Leon.
I'll grab the
I
ale.
want to look at the kids and just be like, remember, the longer you grow up, the bigger and stronger you get. And then one day, you could be adventurers as well.
I mean, sometimes you don't grow up at all. You know, some people don't grow up. You know.
Wow. Hey, shut up.
And Pip and Gilly look at each other like, we don't have to grow up. And Tobin goes, no. And he just goes and starts climbing up the stairs. And
I mean, it's good advice, man. You ever see someone who's not grown up? Like, yeah, just start talking. Like, I mean,
I'm gonna go straight to the ale.
And you guys are downstairs, Moonwind, Cloud, and Boris sort of in the kitchen getting things ready to go. And Leon and Jackal, let's start with Leon. What are you doing here?
I'm going straight to the ale that Toblin just told me about. I'm grabbing the biggest stein I see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna open that shit. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna be like, this needs to be slightly cauterized because it's kind of dirty. And I'm gonna do the tiniest little spark of fire that just like cleans the inside of the stein. You know what I'm saying? Just like. And then I'm gonna grab another one. And Jackal's next to me, right? Is Jackal next to me?
That's up to Jackal. Jackal, where are you?
Are you next to me, Jackal?
No, I'm not.
Okay, but I'm gonna grab a second one, and I'm gonna do the same thing. The biggest steins, like, you know, like it's like a fucking 2-liter bottle. I'm gonna fill both of them up. They're frothy and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna walk over, and I'm gonna take those. I'm gonna walk over to Jackal. I'll be like, I'm gonna set it down in front of him. I'll be like, "That's for you."
Thank you. Jackal goes and grabs it.
No,
It's a big swig.
I'm gonna take one with him. I'm gonna look at him and I'm just like, it's probably too soon, but what was it like?
What like?
I mean,
It was swallowed by a spider.
You're in the kitchen, Moonwind. Continue.
Yeah, dude, fuck.
you were inside of that beast. What was it
Oh.
like?
You know, that's really funny. I was trying to forget about that.
Understandably, but I didn't.
You know, but if you want me to, you know, indulge in the details, you know, when I first got hit, right?
Take a
And
drink.
now this reminds me back a few years ago when I was Jack goes on this like long-winded, you know, thing.
Yeah, but before you continue on,
You've been swallowed
Leon,
up before?
Leon, can you roll me a
Many
Constitution
times,
check,
many
please?
He said many times.
Leon, roll me a Constitution check.
Let's see. What's my
Serious back-
plus?
so, you know,
3.
I
Dude, I
had-
got a fucking a dirty 20,
Mm.
if you would.
Okay.
A crack ass 20.
Okay, Jack will continue.
I remember I was sneaking up.
He's been doing
You
the
know,
whole
honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world. You know, I mean, as soon as I went in, you know, felt like coming out the womb. You know what I mean? Like,
You know what
I
it's
was-
like coming out of the womb?
Well, no, I just assumed that's what it's like. But, you know, I mean, all I saw was really red because, you know,
You could see in there.
I want
it
to
was
get out of
light.
there. You know, think about like a tent, but like made of flesh, but like a meaty tent.
A
And
tent
then,
of
you
flesh.
know, and
Did we
then
just make a new euphemism?
you know, and I
tent
had
made
to,
of
you know,
flesh.
I had to, and like there's no opening to the tent, so I had to, you know, I took out my daggers, right? I hit a pose, you know, because you always got to do a pose, right? So
There was enough room to
Get it.
pose.
I actually don't remember, but all I remember, well, now that I think about it, I don't think I remember a lot from that. But that, you know, that could just be my short memory.
I mean, that's perfectly understandable. I mean, you were inside of a giant spider mad titan that could talk to us, that was hidden inside of a magical mine, you know, guarding an axe with undescribed
As he's
powers
saying
that,
that, I'm taking a sip.
you know, you know, if I got a question for you. Do you think if that dragon didn't show up, do you think we could have killed it?
I mean, it's a fucking dragon, man. I mean,
No, not
I'm
the
fucking-
spider, not the dragon, the spider. Do you think we could have killed the spider?
Oh, fuck no, man. I was about to die.
I mean,
Which reminds me, I should laid down somewhere. I'm starting to feel.
I
this.
think you should finish that ale first, and then you should get another one, then go later.
Oh, it's gone already. Like I turned the tank.
Do you want
down,
another?
Like, it's gone.
Should we see if there's anything stronger potency back there with the elements?
Jackal, could you roll me a Constitution check, sir?
Yes, sir. That is 9 plus 1, a 10. 10 total.
So, Jackal, you start getting very red in the face, and you're becoming
Got Asian flush?
a little more slurred, a little bit more wavy, if you will. And
Another thing, Leon, and this is what I was saying, and you know what?
Yes.
But what? Because you know that area in Baldur's Gate, you know, the lower east side,
Baldur's
you know where
Gate.
and it was, but it was crazy because, you know what I mean? Like it was wild.
What
It
about
was wild.
Baldur's
It was a
Gate?
wild time.
What was wild in Baldur's Gate?
But you know what I'm saying? You're from there, right? You're probably, you know, look at the way you're dressed, man. Because you're probably eating pretty good out there. You're probably on the upper walls and
Not upper walls, but I am in the inner city. Yes.
But you know, it's more like, you know, because when you think about it, man, it's just.
And we
No.
will move over to the kitchen. Moonwind, your hand was up, and we'll go to Cloud really quick. Yes, Moonwind.
Fuck. Oh, I would like to search the premises for something stronger than ale.
Okay, that's totally fine. Go ahead.
That's what I alluded at earlier.
I want.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, sir.
All right, I'm looking. Give me a nice, good wyvern whiskey or something.
A wyvern whiskey. I like that one.
Okay, 19 plus 2 is a 21.
Kraken has 21.
Okay.
I'll even take a fey wine if you have it.
So you kind of look around, and in the kitchen here, you're kind of rummaging through the cabinets and digging through the spices, the
Fire
different
brandy.
sauces and things that are up there. And
I want to make a cocktail.
you can't seem to really find like the right kind of spirit or liquor or anything like that. There doesn't seem to be anything more than just sort of a variety of ale barrels that are on the counters, but you do spot one thing. And it's a bottle with a deep dark red. And you pull it from the cabinet. And you look at the label, you turn it around, and on the label, the front side says gore in big bright letters. And underneath it, marked in a handwritten sort of text underneath the gore logo, is a sentence that says fermented pig's blood / sugar ?
They got IPAs out in Faerun.
I mean, I could potentially make a Flamebeard's cocktail out of it. Oh,
Cloud, your hand was
do
up,
that?
sir. Let's move over to
I'll put
you
that
really
back.
quick.
You know how to do that?
Oh, I was just going to just kind of peek around like the kitchen into the dining area because I'm assuming that's where they're at. If like they're at the bar counter at the very least.
Yeah,
with their ale.
so the anatomy of this, they're at the front counter. Leon and Jackal are sort of out front at the tavern where the service counter is, and you guys are like one door over into
Around
a
the
back
corner.
area, which is where the kitchen
That's
is.
exactly how I
located.
pictured
Yes.
it. Perfect. I literally just wanted to like poke my head around the corner. Oi! Bring some of those back here. And then just tuck back in.
I'm gonna
I'll take
get up
you
and
up
grab
on
another
that,
sign.
Sir Cat Man.
I really wanted to make you guys a tiefling punch. I'm sorry, they don't have the right.
Trying to punch a tiefling?
I've done that before. You want to hear
It's a cocktail. It's
didn't know you were
one part
racist.
Fey wine,
Wait, what did the
Not
one
tiefling
part
say?
Fey wine,
It's
one
just
part
there's many
wyvern
lives
whiskey,
and types of people
2
involved in
parts
fate.
Flamebeard's brandy.
You know, I used to date a tiefling. You know, it didn't really work out.
How was the
her
tail?
name?
Huh?
How was the tail?
The what? The who? The what? Nah,
Did
think
she
about it.
have one
Tieflings
horn or
have tails.
two?
How was it?
I don't remember the tail.
You don't
Did you
have
stroke
to
the
use
tail?
I don't. She might have not been. I might have been thinking about. I think it might have been.
Did you
dark
get
elf.
it with a straight up demon?
It wasn't.
It's
the
fine, it's
No, I
fine,
don't
it's
know any
fine.
demons.
Listen,
I mean,
I'm a warlock.
you know-
I've seen some demons in my time. Let me tell
But-
you.
You know, all
See,
this
see,
talk
see,
about
see.
all this talk about tieflings. I remember this short guy coming through our camp. I think his name was Lemmy. He was dating a tiefling.
Let me.
Did he
I
have
hope
a
he's doing-
striking paladin with him?
I didn't see anybody with armor on, but they seemed happy.
And Cloud and Boris are at the 2 individual counters of the kitchen, sort of rummaging up, cutting things, getting pots with boiling water ready. There's a frying pan. You guys can smell and hear the sizzle of oils and waters, and the fresh cooking is sort of permeating around all of you. And you guys are definitely getting more
Can I
hungry.
get an all-star special?
What? No. Actually, real quick,
Smash mouth comes out of nowhere.
is there any like ribs, whether it's like pork ribs or what's the creature indeed? Rothe?
Rothe?
Oh, Rothe.
Okay.
Any ribs? Can I search for ribs?
Rothe. ribs
yeah,
night.
actually, you see that there is a sort of like hanging meat area of the kitchen off, sort of like tucked in like a what looks to be a sort of like walk-in closet size type of ordeal around the corner. And there's some hanging meat there. It is aged, if you will.
Okay. Okay.
But it's there, yeah.
Okay. I think we're gonna try to do. I assume we have like potatoes, and we can do like all kinds of like other stuff. I think we're gonna do just like a good old like meat and vegetable meal here. I think what we're gonna do is beer basted ribs, and then just like a vegetable medley. Like it's go time. The chef is cooking.
And Cloud like kind of
I found some bastet root.
No,
Cloud kind
this
of
reminds me of the time.
Cloud looks over
traveling.
at what Boris is making and kind of starts to lean into like what Boris has got going on. Cloud can kind of like intuitively kind of pick up what he's doing here. But Cloud, if you could give me a survival check, please.
Easy peasy.
Daddy, mommy, real quick.
Yes, Moonwind.
At this point in everything, I've been downing ale. Can I just be drunk for the remainder of the night?
Give me 1 second. Cloud, what'd you get?
Okay, cool.
18.
18. Moonwind, roll me a constitution check.
Yeah. That is a 6 plus 0. 6.
Oh, he drunk. Drunk.
You're pretty
He's
drunk.
drunk off
You're
his
you're pretty lit, brother. Like you're kind of
Okay.
feeling a little
Okay.
bit.
So be prepared. I'm going to have a lot of random outbursts.
And
Carry on.
Cloud, you're sort of seeing what Boris is doing, and you're kind of picking up on what vegetables he's kind of cutting and how he's sort of arranging, like the way he's salting the meats and stuff. And you're using your nails just kind of like on the counters and stuff. And you guys are really putting together something beautiful here. Leon, what are you doing?
I'm drinking more ale.
I'm getting pissed.
Daddy, mommy.
I'm
Yeah.
drinking more ale.
That smell that
Leon.
reminds me that time when I was, traveling, down sort of the south end for a job, for a courier job. It's a cool place. This cool franchise, the Waffle Manor. I think it's
All right, moving
a
on.
really cool place.
And
Makes food
Toblin,
right there in front of you.
Toblin walks in, and he sort of shifting his shirt and getting his clothes straightened up. He walks in and goes, "What the fuck are you talking about, Jackal?"
You know, remember the Waffle Manor? You know, they had the Waffle Manor, man. Had the All-Star special. You know,
They have the strongest fighters I've ever
yeah,
seen.
they had the All Faerun special, man. Could not miss it, man. It was great.
Oh, man.
That shit, I still
I was
think
like,
about
wait,
that.
go to this
Wait,
place.
that was ICOP. That was ICOP, International Castle.
No, man, no. You see, this guy,
Cops? What's a
see,
cop?
aristocrat. But you know, Waffle Manor is
Hold on,
way
where'd you
better.
get this?
Wait, whoa, where did you get that from?
And Tobin looks
It
over. He
was
goes,
on the wall.
"Whoa, hey,
It was-
hey,
it was
hey,
on the
hey,
wall.
hey, hey,
Hey, put that back on the wall, man.
Put that
Whoa,
down,
whoa.
lad. Put
Hey,
that back
whoa.
over there."
I heard Waffle Manor. You ever been to the Interplanar House of Pancakes? You ever been there?
Yeah, but you know they
that's
don't
the
make
one I was thinking about.
they don't make the potatoes how I like them over there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
See, the trick is when you're a warlock, you can always make your potatoes
get them shredded
crispier.
or
Imagine
cubes?
Boris is just
Chocolate
shouting
and
through the
waffles.
doorway of the kitchen.
And there's-
I've
they
been
put the cream-
I've been to
Oh.
Kenny's. I've had Kenny's before.
Kenny's is really good.
No,
I heard that,
no,
that
man.
place is
They keep
ran
the doors
by
open late.
somebody
Come on.
named Sir Stiller.
Now,
the moon.
I do. Now, I will say, Kenny's has some great live music. That's some good live
And what
music.
about that
true. Do you
owner,
remember the
Sir
one bar?
Stiller?
Oh, what was his name? It was
That
And-
Sir Stiller guy is such a prick.
And as we're all sort of talking and reminiscing in the kitchen, the air is filled with the sudden scream of a woman from outside of the building.
I'm immediately
hell,
gonna
not
get up
again.
and rush out the door. Immediately. Like, just
Yeah,
don't
I-
even
I
think about
follow.
it. I don't
I
say
follow.
a word. I just immediately go.
yeah. I'm
I'm just
following.
gonna look
I
at
still have
Boris
my
in the
weapons on
kitchen.
me and everything.
Fuck, we can't catch a break.
And
You guys got that
Toblin-
right?
Toblin looks at Jackal and says, "It might be a good idea for you to stay here, lad." And Toblin steps out and he grabs Moonwind by the shirt, the back of his neck, and says, "You
Still drunk as
fucking,
hell, too.
you
That guy's
stayed
drunk
here
as
too, lad." And he pulls Moonwind back into the building to stay here. And Toblin walks out the door with Leon and Cloud. And Boris, did you follow with?
Someone's got to cook these ribs, man. Yeah, I'll follow.
So Leon, Cloud, and Boris.
As we're
run-
walking out the door, anybody who can stand on their own 2 feet without assistance, get your ass out here.
Moonwind.
Not you. Just shoving Moonwind back in the door.
I do want to go on record. And I don't condone this by any means necessary. But back when I was a lifeguard, this is IRL, by the way. Back when I was a lifeguard, we used to get into some crazy shit. I've done a lot of magnificent things whilst inebriated. Okay, so I just want to say, you don't know me. You don't know what I'm capable of.
Jackal walks back to the kitchen and he sees, like, you know what, where Boris left off, and he just starts like this, keeping it on the flame.
Yeah, I'm gonna find any and every way to make myself outside. I'm making my way out there. Fuck them. You're not keeping me from a good time. I'm going out there.
Toblin's going to.
And Toblin, who's still sort of just like part way out the door. Leon, Cloud, and Boris, you're sort of all the way out of the door. You're pretty much standing in the middle of the town square. And as you're all kind of coming out the door, you guys can see in the center of the town square a pike stuck in the ground. It's about 6 feet tall. And there, at the very top of the pike, is the head of a man bleeding down the wood of the spear. This man's face sort of morphed into this painful, agonizing face of pain. And below, at the feet of this pike, standing just behind it, is an orcish man wearing a feathered long robe, long coat, a sort of jacket that covers all around his body. And you can see him turn around the pike, and in his hand, as he turns towards you, he's holding a piece of paper. And in it, it's unfolded, unrolled, just sort of out as this tattered piece of written on paper here. He looks at the paper and he looks towards you and he says, "The end is come."
I'm gonna draw my sword. My left hand is gonna glow. What do you mean the end?
And he drops the paper, and as the paper sort of slowly floats down to the ground, you guys can see it land on the dirt and sand at his feet, and then suddenly engulf in flame. And when it does, his coat comes down, and two blades come swarming out in both hands underneath his coat as he pulls them outward to his sides and says, "I've come here to send a message."
I'm just gonna fucking Eldritch Blast him. Just immediately.
I'm sprinting that dude's
Fuck
direction.
that guy, dude. Fuck him.
Fuck his message.
Yeah. Fuck his message.
And that will be the
I'm
end
running
of
out. I don't want
today's...
to fucking grasp.
That will be the end of today's session, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I want to make sure we start next session. I'm just firing at him right away, dude. Because
I've got a shocking grasp ready to fucking go, my guy.
I drew my sword. My left hand was glowing. I was ready. Okay.
Listen, I got a 45-foot walking speed right now. I'm running my ass over there, and I'm gonna fucking.
You ever been to the Waffle Manor?
While holding this horn, I'm just like,
I'm gonna turn this shit into fucking Kenny's, dude.
Gentlemen, thank you
2:30
guys
a.m.
for today's episode, and thank you guys at home for joining us for this one. We appreciate it. We are not going to be having another episode next week. A couple of us have some stuff going on, so we will be back in another couple of weeks. We're sorry it's kind of drip feeding, but hey, we're getting there. It's okay, guys. We will keep you guys in the loop on when we have another episode, of course, and as always, be good to each other.
Can I have the All Faerun special?
"Yar har, me hearties."
Eldritch Blast.
Waffle Manor.
Kenny's. Did you catch the Sir Stiller?
Yeah.
Fucking interplanar house of pancakes, bro.